Hey y'all, this is Brett, and I had a bit of a predicament last week that had been going on for 3 or 4 weeks, probably 4 weeks. And it was that, you remember how I told you I had somebody that was sewing my products for me? And I won't mention her name, but she was doing an okay job, pretty good, and she'd worked for me before, but the last time that she came by and dropped off a few things, I gave her a big order. I gave her a bunch of pillows to make for me and a whole lot of fabric worth a pretty good amount of money. And she was supposed to come back in about a week with all of that work done. And she didn't. She didn't show up. And so I called her, and then she said she'd show up the following Monday, and then she didn't show up again. And this went on for several weeks, and I started calling her and saying, hey, what's up? And I was nice at the beginning, and then I started to get uglier, and I was like, hey, you better call me really soon. I'm starting to get worried or something, And so then, after about a month of not hearing anything from her, she calls me, and I said, now look, I cannot keep you anymore because you're not reliable, and I want all my stuff back now. And she says, oh, I have somebody coming over this weekend, so you can't come over. I wanted to go pick it up. I was willing and ready to go pick up my material that was worth $250, $300, and I don't have the time or the money to be going, or the time, to be going and buying more material. And do I look like a millionaire? And so she just kind of said, well, no, I'll come by on Monday, or I'll call you. And then, of course, she didn't again. And so I was at my wit's end. And so guess what I did? I was thinking about making a video, putting her name on the title as being a thief. But then one of my students said, you better not do that, or she'll get you for, what do they call it? I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, so what I did was I called my local police, and I told them the story that I just told you. And I know, I've been seeing the police a lot lately. It's a strange thing. Because this isn't a usual gig for me to be having police encounters. But in this case, I needed to call the police and tell them, because I felt vulnerable, because she knew where I lived. And I was always really nice to her and paid her whenever she wanted, in advance too. And so he took down the info, and I gave him her phone number. And you see, I don't know where she lives. I still don't know where she lives. And so I couldn't take her to small claims court. And I called the court, and they told me, look, you've got to have her address so that we can serve the summons. And so there was no way that I could do that with just her email address and phone number, cell phone number. What he did do, is call her and leave her a message and asked her to call him. The next day, the next morning, she called me, or emailed me, and said that she would like to bring the fabric by. And she did. I owed her a little bit of money. She hadn't done the work. She hadn't finished hardly anything. I paid her what I owed her, and she left all my fabric. Yay! So, the moral of this story is to stay calm and don't do anything too extreme, but do what you need to do to take care of business. And it worked. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe if you will.